made the intro twice there. The audio sounds... Nah, do you know what? I've done the same mistake again. I have got my live stream open in another tab. I was wondering why I could hear the intro twice. But here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel for another live reaction. And just to start off the stream, I'm seeing a lot of lovely messages. Not so much from Greg here, but we've got a lot of lovely messages about 35,000 subscribers. So before I do anything else and before we talk about the game, may I just quickly start off the stream by saying thank you all so much for getting us to 35,000 subscribers. I've been yapping on about it for ages now. I've been telling you to help me cross the line. I've been telling people who haven't subscribed to subscribe to the channel, and we've done it. We've crossed that mark. So in that 10,000 stretch between 30 and 40, we're halfway there to the 40,000 subscribers. So yeah, if you haven't, for any reason, while you're here, not subscribed, please, I would love it if you could go down below. And who knows, maybe it's a bit ambitious, but if we could be at 50,000 subscribers by the end of this season, then that would be absolutely magic. But thank you all for your support. I couldn't do it without you guys. You just make the channel, and your support through thick and thin has always got me through here to this point. There's been times where I've not been as energetic and not been as... not worked as hard as I could have over the past 5-6 years, and yous have stuck through it, and yous have kept subscribing, and yous have kept being there, so I can't really put that into words how much I appreciate it. And now that I'm doing this full time as well, it's always nice to see the subscriber count go up and people appreciating the content. So we're nearly there. We're nearly into the 2022-23 campaign. So for more content and more opinion and a bit more of my unfortunate looking face, you know where to stick around to, because this is where we go for it hard this year. Get tissues out. Get tissues out. No, and also, because obviously I said I'd give back to you guys, stick around the channel over the next week. I'll be announcing the giveaway for either a Celtic home or away shirt. You have a chance of winning one of those. I'll probably announce it on Monday once the weekend is passed and we're starting a new working week and all that. So we'll try our best to get that giveaway sorted on Monday evening when the video is released. But Celtic beat Norwich 2-0 today in our final pre-season friendly before the start of the 22-23 campaign. And what was probably the most Celtic performance yet, I think, in pre-season, because it just felt like one of those Saturday 3 o'clock kickoffs, you know, throughout the season, when you've got a Livingston, you've got a St Johnstone, you've got a St Mirren, any of these teams in the league, and you just go out, you get the job done, nothing too glamorous. I mean, obviously we get the 6-0ers and stuff from time to time, but nothing too glamorous. We just went out, we'd done our business, we played well, and we got 2 really good goals. And on obviously a league game, you would have walked away with 3 points, but in the friendly, we walk away with a win against English Championship opposition. I was happy with what I seen today. As I said, I don't think it was the most eye-catching game the world has ever seen or that Celtic have ever produced, but I think it was important for Celtic to go out there today and get a performance from start to finish that didn't leave people moaning, that didn't leave more to be desired. They kept a consistency throughout the first and second half, which seen us right out to the victory. And that was important because obviously in the last few friendlies, we've not really had that. We've not had the kind of games where in the first and second half have been convincing enough. This game we had total control. I don't remember Norwich threatening at all, really. I think they had 1 or 2 chances, a couple of glancing headers and such here and there, but nothing too serious. Joe Hart was forced to make a couple of saves throughout the game, but genuinely, I thought that Celtic were just very much in control of the game. They never had to look back. There was no big mistakes, unlike the second half performances against the likes of Legia Warsaw, Blackburn, and what was the other game that we played in the midweek? I can't remember now. But unlike those games where we kind of slipped up in the second half after making big changes, we managed to keep it going, and that's the good thing. So let's go through the game, first and second half, as we always do, talk about some standouts, and then I'll get you guys involved because there's some questions that people will want me to answer, like this. Yes, both of them did feature in today's game. We'll talk about them, and we'll also just talk about your questions in general when we get to the end. First half, thought looked really good at points. The goal was tremendous. Dyson Maeda, for a man who has no technical ability, as some would say. And I remember in the last live stream, someone commented, like, I'm not going to name and shame them, mostly because I can't remember who, but someone commented saying Dyson Maeda's technical ability is very poor. And I brought it up on screen. And I said, well, that's not true. His finishing can maybe be a bit better from time to time, but he's certainly got technical ability. He's not earned a transfer to Celtic through nothing. He didn't finish top scorer in Japan for nothing. You know, he had a technical ability. That was for certain. And he proved that today with his goal. It was a fantastic improvised finish from Josip Juranovic's cross, which sent us into the lead at 35-minute mark. And up until that point, we were just controlling the game. I thought we looked comfortable in possession. Norwich struggled to get a real hold of it. We were making chances down the left and right-hand side. And I think we're seeing a bit more of the Celtic side that we'll expect to see against Aberdeen next week. I think that's the main thing. You know, we're seeing better performances from everybody involved, from the defenders to the attack, more consistent performances as well. So it was a good first half. Once I said, not too much that stood out massively, apart from the fact I thought Rio Hatate again today looked absolutely marvellous. And that's another pre-season performance for Rio Hatate, where he's looked so fresh, like a new player. And a top quality player at that. Obviously, I brought up Modric comparison. This is where the Rangers fans have fun, because they think I'm trying to compare him to Luka Modric. I don't mean he's as good as Luka Modric. I just mean the similarities in their style of player. Someone brought that up on Twitter, and I brought it up in the last stream. And you think you just see more of that with every pre-season game that's passed, every game that's went on. I feel like he's always just looked so much cleaner and so much more efficient in what he does with the ball and moving it, and how he turns with it, and his pace as well is looking much more up to a required speed, compared to that way that he was looking knackered towards the end of last season. I think he's just so easy on the eye. That's the thing about Rio Hatate. He makes everything look so silky smooth. It's just a joy to watch in the middle. And I'm loving this partnership between him and Matt O'Reilly. For me, right now, the midfield three, and I brought this up in the last match review, and I'm sticking by it after today's performance. I think that the three of them have to be the starting midfield for this campaign. Unless we obviously make another signing at a central defensive midfielder, which could change things up a bit. Right now, McGregor, O'Reilly, Hatate is looking like the cleanest three out of them. They link up so well. They have such a good understanding of each other, the movement, and the helping each other out, the recycling of the ball. Everything that they do together as that midfield three, I just think looks really, really good. Hatate, what a level he's moved it up to from the end of last season, and I hope that continues into the actual competitive football. But yeah, first half, brilliant, I thought. Second half, once again, we just carried on with the job. We just got the job done. We made a lot of changes in the second half. I think the changes worked a lot better than what they have in the last few friendlies. But I think they looked all great. Everybody that came on, basically, apart from maybe the ones towards right at the end of the game, because they never really had much of an opportunity to show much. But I thought like Moritz Jens looked great. I think he looked, not great, maybe that's a bit of an exaggeration, but I thought he looked good. He fitted in really well. He made a big block moments after being subbed on. I thought he was looking sharp, and he had a great ovation when he came on. Yakimakis, I thought, brilliant. Couple of games missed out in pre-season. You're hoping he wasn't going to have a more of a settling in period or such, coming back into the team after the birth of his child. No, right back at it for big Yakimakis. And David Turnbull with the goal as well in that second half. He just looked so good when he came on the park. So I think a lot of the substitutes were very, very positive in that second half. The second goal was really well worked as well. We're doing a lot of the same things right, working down the sides. And the way Yakimakis, I think it's Yakimakis, who sets up Turnbull for the goal, is really well done. And it's once again a nod to the ability that he has up there to hold up the ball. If it was him, it could have been a badder. From my seat, it's hard to tell, and I should have watched back on the goal, but I'm pretty sure it was him. But yeah, all the changes look great. Second half, clean as you like, got the job done. Aaron Moy, he got a chance as well. I thought he looked a little bit more like he needs to get up to speed with things. It looked a bit more slow. He had an opportunity on the edge of the area, and it took an eternity to get his shot away. But listen, I'm not going to read into that too much. He's not been able to play a lot of football over the past couple of years in China. I'd imagine that he's only had one training session as well. There's no need to be too harsh on either him or Moritz Jens. They've got a lot of time to work with over the next week and get up to speed. And we know that Moy's not coming in to start games for Celtic at this point as well. So there's not much to worry about that. The midfield is in a fantastic position, and we've seen that throughout the entirety of the game with the substitutes. The players who started the game were in a really good and healthy position. So that's all that really matters. Anyway, a 2-0 win against Norwich. You'll probably end up winning the championship again this season. Isn't too bad. Dean Smith, a good manager as well, a good team. We've got good players. Teemu Pukki returned to Celtic Park. Todd Cantwell, guys like Grant Hanley, if you like. Tim Krul, some experienced players in there. It's a good side, and they never really had a say in the game at all. So we've done that well. We camped well. We've done things right. Anyway, News seen on Twitter there, credit to John McGinley of 67 Hail Hail, just seeing it, in case you're wondering, when it comes to centre halves, of course Welsh and Carter Vickers started the game today, Moritz Jens came in, Carol Starfelt is in the final stages of his injury rehabilitation, is due to join Celtic training at some point over the next week. That would suggest to me that he will not be starting against Aberdeen. I think it would be too soon to get him back into the starting lineup, but we will start to see the return of Starfelt to training and probably his return to the Celtic team sheet very, very soon too. But I have a feeling that Moritz Jens could partner up with Cameron Carter-Vickers next week. It could be Welsh, but you know, I think that Moritz Jens could come in. We have spent, well, we've not spent much money actually on him because it's a loan deal, but we have brought him in to do a job, and I imagine that opportunity could be a job that he'll do. So let's get your questions and such brought into the stream for the final sort of 5-10 minutes. Over 300 viewers, by the way. Thank you very much. If you haven't, make sure to like and subscribe. I was impressed, but the Jens Julian. I was impressed, but the Jens Julian partnership. I don't know what that's even. I don't know what word's missing from that there to make sense. Never got beaten pre-season, so that's a positive as well. And we look 5 times sharper than last season. Yeah, I think especially in the middle of the park, we don't look as leggy. Is what we did towards the end of the last campaign. We've got a lot more legs in the door now as well, which is good. We've got better depth there in the side, so that works very well. And we never got beaten pre-season, as you said. For as many moans as folk gave for certain things and certain reasons, we didn't get beaten pre-season, so that is a very big positive. Let's see. What else? A lot of talk about Tottenham. Once again, pre-season friendlies. I'm not going to even start bothering right now at this moment in time. Who didn't get on the pitch today? I don't actually know. I would have to go and look at the actual team sheet again to see who didn't. Jens and Julian looked great. Julian, why am I saying Julian? It's because I'm saying Jens. Jens and Julian look great. I don't think Julian put a foot wrong, to be fair, for as little as he had to do. He obviously came on a little bit later on in the game, but is it too early for Bernabei to start? It's a good question. Oh, there's me. I've met Aiden. There we go. There's me. I remember you, Aiden. I remember you down at when I stayed down in Belgrove. Anyway, good question. Is it too early for him to start? I think Taylor will start next week. I think Greg Taylor will. And that's nothing on Bernabei. I like what I'm seeing of Bernabei thus far, but I think that the manager will be sticking with Taylor for the time being until the time comes through. Here we go. Combined with Bernabei, thought Taylor played well. I thought Taylor played well as well. I think he will start against Aberdeen next week. And I think we all said that in the podcast as well when Bernabei did sign it. We all still expected Taylor to start, because you've got to remember, for as much as we brought in a left back, Taylor had a really good end to the last season. I don't think the manager's just going to suddenly be like, right to the side, to the bin, Greg. I think there will be a good bit of rotation between the two until we find who's more comfortable there. But I think it will be Taylor next week. Moy, obviously, rusty, played very tentative. Yeah, you can see it in his running as well. He was kind of getting up to, he's just kind of taking himself easily through the game. And he only had 10-15 minutes at the end of a friendly. So I wasn't expecting him to be panning his, lungs in. But yeah. Bernabei will need 6 months to settle in my opinion. Wow. So hopefully it's not as long as 6 months. I would like him to get in a little bit sooner. Kevin, I love this. Drinking a creamy Guinness in a local in Oldcastle. Listening in, Ryan. Great stuff. Thank you. I appreciate that. Cheers. Cheers to you too. I love that. Bernabei is a total project. Clearly very technical, but miles away from being a defender. Wow, big opinions. I would like to... I don't want to judge Bernabei too harshly on anything thus far, because he's had very limited time against very limited opposition. Norwich done nothing today. There was no real test for Bernabei. So I'm reserving big judgments for now, but he will need time to settle. That is just very natural. Yeah, I agree. I think through pre-season, Cameron Carter-Vickers hasn't looked the same. But this is the thing about pre-season friendlies. No one's going to be playing at the standard that they do in competitive games. I think that, we've seen Jota and such play really well, but when you're attacking, you're obviously going to do a much better job looking good going forward than you are defending in pre-season friendly games. Oh, Daniel, thank you. I hope you enjoyed the game today, mate. Thank you for the comments, and it was nice to meet you, lad. Thank you very much. A lot of praise lab towards Hatate. Shows what he can do with fresh legs. Absolutely. I think that this break has been the world of good for him. Taylor and Ralston have been our best overall fullbacks. Well, Juranovic is shaking right now, isn't he? Watch from Italy, really hot. Send some rain, please. Great going, Ryan. Ciao to you too, Giancarlo. I hope you enjoyed the game today. But yeah, it was good to watch. Get it done. Turnbull as well. I think looking at the competition in the midfield is brilliant at the moment. It's really, really good. and Turnbull's another name who's going to have a big season, I think. So, yeah, and I agree with this. It's pre-season. Guys like Cameron Vickers, Juranovic, they will be holding back a bit. There's no need for them to go out there and give 100% a pre-season friendly, risking injury, collision, anything like that. Trust me, it'll be night and day next Sunday. And performances from players like them. We'll see the absolute best of them over the next few weeks now we're back into competitive football. But yeah, I'm gonna end it up there today because I've got plans. I'm away very shortly to meet up with the podcast lads, Callum and Kieran, going for a wee drink and such Saturday night. So yeah, thank you all for watching. Thank you all so much for 35,000 subscribers. It is much appreciated, and I appreciate you coming out for this stream as well. We'll be back hopefully tomorrow if there's much to talk about. If not, it'll be Monday, but the podcast will be returning next week for all those who have been asking. And we get back into it all with I keep saying professional. Friendly, still professional. With the competitive season beginning, it's going to be a big week on the channel. So stay tuned. Thank you all for coming out. Thank you, and have a good night. Enjoy yourself.